Welcome to the Money Watch Show. It's Thursday, August 3rd, and we are here answering your financial questions. We is me, Jill Schlesinger, certified financial planner and CBS News business analyst, and he is Mark Talercio, also a certified financial planner and an all-around great guy and the man who runs the engine of Jill on Money. Hello, Mark.
The Jill on Money empire.
The empire, yes. Small though it is, and happily so. Thank you very much. I was just talking to a friend of mine who is a financial planner, and he was telling me a little bit about some of the things going on in his company. I said, oh, God, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with any of that anymore. I just like talking to you guys who are listeners and give you the best financial advice that can maybe help you understand what your choices are and what's going on for you. If you would like to pose a question to us or maybe get our opinion about something, why don't you hop onto our website, jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and we'll get your note. If you want to join us on the air, just check off that little box, and Mark does everything else because he's so good. So today we are talking to Dan, who's on the line from Tucson, Arizona, and Dan gets the award for withstanding the highest heat level of any caller recently. So Dan, how's the AC working? Pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's hanging in there.
Thank goodness, right? Dan, what brings you to us today?
We're looking to buy a first home, my partner and I. I'm just trying to get your take on trying to calculate how much money we should put aside for our housing budget. Right now, we're thinking like 30% of our net income, which is would be about $1950 for housing. And my question to you is, with that housing budget, where do you break down the mortgage and utilities, and then having additional savings to cover emergencies that crop up in the house? I've heard around 1%. The purchase price you should save every year?
Yeah, well, a lot of people will say 1% if you're buying something brand new, but it's kind of like 1 to 3% depending on what you buy. But let's talk a little bit about what you and your partner are doing right now. You guys are renting, right?
Correct.
What's the rent?
$1,230.
And do you both work?
We do.
Okay, great. How old are you, Dan?
37.
And partner is?
36.
Okay. How much do you guys earn?
Combined about 115.
And right now, are you guys both contributing to retirement accounts?
Yeah, we're both putting in 10% to our 401ks and trying to max out the Roth IRAs at the same time.
Wow, that's great. So tell us a little bit about how much you've saved so far. What's in the 401k balance and what's in the IRA, the Roth IRAs?
We have about 40,000 in the Roth IRAs and 55,000 in the 401ks. I also have around 50,000 in company stock.
Any money right now just in like an emergency reserve / house down payment fund?
Yeah, we have about 80,000 saved up for house-related funds.
What is the price of the house that you would really want to buy if you could?
We really wanted to buy a house in the 300,000 range when we first started our housing search about a year ago. And since then, we've kind of had to recalculate just based on interest rates and trying to get the monthly payment to fit within our 30% net income budget.
And when you say 30% net income of $1,950, that is including principal, interest, homeowners, taxes, right? Did you also say utilities in there?
Yeah, so I've been tracking our utilities for the last couple of years, and we pay about $300 to $350 a month in utilities.
Do you hate where you're renting?
No.
No? You like it? I mean, I need to understand. Is this like, oh my God, DEFCON 4, we have to get out of this place, we hate it? Or do you like, hey, you know what, we're really happy here, it's good? Tell me what's the sense that you have?
Oh, we're happy with our rental. We actually asked the landlord if we could buy it, and we got turned down. You know, we like Tucson enough that we think we're going to stay here for the next 5 to 10 years at least. My partner's family's here, so it makes sense.
What did he say the current rent is?
$1,230 a month. It is so cheap that I'm like, I want you to stay there forever. But I know you want to buy a house. And do you have any other questions, Mark?
They actually have a good amount of money saved up for a down payment. Obviously, with current interest rates, their monthly payment is going to be more than what they're paying in rent for the foreseeable future. But, as I've said before, at some point, there will be an opportunity to refinance.
Right. And by the way, it doesn't even make sense to do an adjustable right now because the differential is not good. Is 30% net income, Mark, something that you feel like he should really be, that they as a couple should stick to? I mean, I think that they can let that drift up a little bit, actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure the origin of the number, but no, that's not how I would approach it. I mean, I would just run the numbers, see how much house you can comfortably afford, plan on putting 20% down. But no, I wouldn't get too hung up on this 30% number.
Because I think that is a number that comes from a lot of financial people saying, ideally that's what you do, but that is not relevant to like what is going on right this second in the housing market, obviously. But also, I think that my guess is that if we had to sacrifice a little bit of saving right now to get you into your $300,000 house, like if we did a $300,000 house right now with the principal, interest, homeowners, and taxes, and we were not at $2,000 a month, but it was, I'm going to make it up, $2,400 a month. I don't think that that's going to prevent you from putting 10% into, I mean, maybe you won't even use 401ks. Maybe you just use your Roth IRAs for now. I mean, I guess there's a couple of other questions to ask. Do you both feel secure in your employment right now?
I feel pretty secure. My partner's kind of got, her job is funded on a yearly basis, so we're kind of awaiting the results for that for the upcoming year. It seems like it's a positive direction, but there's nothing set in stone.
Do you feel like you have some upside in income or not?
Well, we've been getting regular raises, so I do think that if we were to go above this 30% mark that we have right now, that eventually we'd make enough income that wouldn't matter.
Can you buy a $300,000 place that you would like right now, do you think?
I mean, I think I could. I get a little nervous because it just kind of exceeds this 30% threshold that I.
All right, calm down with your 30%.
Yeah,
Mark, do a $240,000 30-year at 6.5%. What's the mortgage and principal and interest on that?
1,500-ish.
1,500-ish. And then the homeowners, and is this a condo or a freestanding house?
Freestanding house.
So how much do I put in for homeowners and taxes for you guys? What is the taxes like in Tucson?
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that off the top of my head.
I think at $2,500 a month, okay? Let's just play this out. Let's say you find this $300,000 house, right? You put down your $60,000, leaves you with your $20,000, and you're going to have to replenish that. Is your company stock sellable right now, or is it unvested?
I can't sell it until much later in life.
Okay. I'm not even thinking about it. So what if you bought this house, you got into it? Do you guys both get a 401k match right now?
We do.
Okay. What if instead of putting 10% into your 401k, you just put up to the match, whatever that is, 6%, 5%, whatever it is. And in the near term, that's all you're going to do. And maybe you would put some money in the Roth IRAs. Maybe not. I don't even know. Would it give you pause to get on that game plan, to save a little less, to get into a house now? How do you feel about that? If I tell you like it's not that big a deal, in 3 years, you're going to probably be back at 10% in your 401k and maxing out your Roths. Would you feel okay doing that?
No, that certainly helps. Yeah.
I don't think it's a big deal. I think you're going to be able to do it. The question is whether you can give yourselves, I wouldn't do it before your partner found out whether she had this job or not, like I would wait. I am not really worried that you go from, say, $2,000 a month to $2,500 a month. I don't think that $500 a month is really going to be a problem. I don't think you're going to have a problem. It sounds like you got that 30% number in your head. It kind of screwed with you. And you have the money to put down. If you find something you really like, I would do it. And then if you don't, you're like, I got $1,200 a month that I can actually chill out and pay for rent. I wouldn't go and buy a $400,000 house, but I think you can afford a $300,000 house.
I'm also curious if he's a happy renter, where did this desire to buy come from?
Just thinking that, hey, we like it here. Maybe we should consider buying a home, just seeing how home prices keep going up and up, that, eventually if we just go down the road 4 or 5 years later, who knows what the cost of housing will be. Maybe it's a bit of FOMO. I'm not sure.
Well, no. I think if you know you want to be in the place, yes, I think that's fine. Especially if your partner's family is there, then I think, sure, if that's a place you want to be, great. And do I think that Tucson is a great area and it's a growth area? Of course, all of those things. I would keep looking and I wouldn't feel compelled to buy just to buy. But if you find something you like and it's in your price range, then I would do it. I mean, I don't think you're going to blow up your financial lives. But if it's going to cause you great concern about like, oh my God, I don't know, and you make yourself crazy, then you don't have to do it. You're in a good position. But I wouldn't let this 30% number really spook you too much. My bigger concern is that, I think that you have the money to do it. My bigger concern is that if you keep waiting, we're like, oh, you're never going to get to this 30% number. Or maybe you will, but it's not important enough. As long as you can keep saving, and you can, the $500 a month is not going to be the difference for you guys. I'm telling you right now, not going to be.
No, he's there. I mean, most people have trouble coming up with the down payment. You have the down payment.
Exactly. It's perfectly fine either way. But, if, it's also okay to be like, yeah, we haven't found anything. We're really happy renting and you're still socking away money, which is great. Now, you're not married, right?
No, not yet.
Okay. You plan to?
Eventually, yes.
Only because if you're going to buy something together, obviously you're going to buy it as joint with rights of survivorship. That's the way you should be purchasing this, which would mean you buy it together. If one of you were to die, that person's share in the house goes to you. Your share goes to her. Okay. But make sure you have an attorney that knows what they're doing to manage that process. Okay.
Okay. I'll look into that.
Anything else for us?
I guess just this is less financial, but more emotional. Like, there's been a kind of a journey trying to look for stuff. How do you manage your emotions trying to purchase a home?
You know what? It's a terrible journey because there is a lack of housing in the United States. You happen to live in a place where there is actually housing stock, which is good. But remember what my mother used to say. She was a realtor and she would say, a house is like a man. There's more than one for you in the world, meaning that when you fall in love with a house or you fall in love with something and it falls through, there will be another one. There really will be. And you guys are going to be in good shape and you've got a lot of money saved and, try to enjoy it. And it's a little bit of a game and try not to get caught up in the I have to and say, like, hey, this is what we'd like to do. But if it doesn't happen, you're in a great place. You're really happy where you are. And that's important.
Thank you for the practical advice.
I try. I'm a practical gal. All right. If you are like Dan, you're chasing this housing market and you need some help about how to get your emotions in check, how to get your money in check, then give us a holler. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and just write us your note. And if you'd like to come on the air with us, we would love to chat with you. Just check that box. Mark does everything else. And while you're on the website, do not forget to subscribe to our news service, Jill on Money Live. Mark Talercio is the web king, the co-host, and the executive producer of the Jill on Money world. We are distributed by Paramount Global. We drop our episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. Try to put your hands metaphorically on someone's back. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you next week.